1000 only. I created an account from scratch, and in each episode I complete a task of 1000 things. But you, the viewer, decide what my next task is going to be by voting on a poll which I release each video. Now pick your vote wisely, because the profit I make will be invested into better gear to prepare for the next episode. For a full list of the rules and restrictions, check out the description of the video. Are you ready? Let's begin! Good day everyone, my name is Vannaka and welcome back to another episode of 1000 only Undead Druids. Before I start, I want to say thank you for watching the videos week in and week out, and I know I've said this many times before, but I just want to remind you of how grateful I am. You know, what I enjoy the most about making videos is that it shapes a connection with the RuneScape community, and reading your comments always makes me incredibly happy, and I just wanted to have said that. So in this episode we're gonna take on Undead Druids, in my opinion a very interesting monster, and it was very hard to predict which option would come out on top because all the three options had close to 33% of the votes, which is rare. But I honestly really like it when the polls are so close, because it's a good thing, because the closer the votes the more exciting the poll is, so that is always nice. So when killing Undead Druids, it's a smart idea to use range or melee, and I've decided to go with range in this episode. I think it's time to finally buy a blowpipe, one of the best range weapons in the game. Now in order to do this I did have to sell my whip though, but it's not a problem since we're not going to use it in this episode anyway, and the Undead Druids will most likely make me enough money to buy it back in the next one. I decided to fully charge the blowpipe with 16k skills and 7k mithril darts to be sure I can sustain until the end of the episode, and the remaining skills can then be used in future episodes of course. So before we are going to kill the Undead Druids I need to make sure I have the best gear as possible, and for this reason I completed the Tarn's Lair mini quest to obtain the enchanted Salve Amulet. Because as you can remember, in the previous episode we completed Haunted Mine, which gave us the Salve Ammy. Now the regular amulet gives a plus 15 damage bonus on undead creatures, but with the enchanted version this is increased to plus 20%. Luckily this minigame is not too hard to complete. In my opinion, getting there is even harder than the actual fight itself. But anyway, there's one more upgrade the amulet needs before we can actually go and start killing the Undead Druids. The enchanted amulet only works for melee based attacks, and to make sure this also works for range and mage, I need to imbue it at Nightmare Zone. So I went to Nightmare Zone and AFK'd there for a few hours to get 800,000 points to imbue the amulet. And I didn't really focus on the max points per hour or anything, because I think that Nightmare Zone is actually a very interesting option for a future episode. And maybe I can then complete the most efficient quests and all that stuff and see how many points I can collect within 1000 minutes. So during this Nightmare Zone mini grind I reached level 73 strength and of course collected all the points I needed to imbue my amulet. And this means I'm now fully prepared to start killing the Chaos Druids, so let's begin. The Undead Druids are followers of Ranul, the god of the moon, and are located in the Forthos dungeon in Zeah. They have one unique drop, being the Mask of Ranul, with a drop rate of 1 in 1000, but weirdly enough this mask isn't very special. It has the same stats as a wizard hat, but is still worth 40k, probably because of the cool and a bit scary design. Now I was so lucky to receive one after 20 kills already. I mean, not that it means that much, but still, I thought it was cool to see a drop like this on the floor. But the real reason why these monsters are so interesting is because of their overpowered drop table. They have loads of stackable items, making trips very long lasting, and drop heart clues frequently, which is always a nice bonus. Now this is why I'm so happy to have done 1000 minutes of questing last week, so I've now completed every single heart clue requirement in terms of quest areas. Another drop that is worth looking into is the Grubby key, which can be used to open the Grubby chest and has some very interesting loots. I can either sell the keys or open the chest, but I will choose to open the chests at the very end of the video. So during my grind I got a clue that required something I did not have yet, 60 prayer to equip a god stole. And I remember that a few episodes ago I didn't have the money to afford this, but now that we've become a bit more rich, I simply decided to go for it. I temporarily sold my Fury Amulet because I wasn't gonna use it in this episode anyway, and with this money I bought Dragon Bones and used them all at the Chaos Altar in the Wilderness to get level 60 prayer. I mean, this wasn't only beneficial for the clue itself, but also for the video in particular, because killing the Undead Druids requires prayer all the time. During the prayer training I died a couple of times, but in the end I saved so many bones at this altar that it was definitely worth using. I got level 60 prayer and it cost me about 350 dragon bones, while on a normal gilded altar it would have been about 550. So once I got the requirements I completed the clue and simply kept going. And also, I'm so happy to have the herb sack and seed box now, because this makes everything so much easier for me. Probably half of the drops are herbs and seeds, and thanks to this sack and box I was able to do much longer trips, which gives a great feeling. Also, using a blowpipe felt really good, because this weapon has so much DPS that killing these druids didn't feel like a problem at all, especially in combination with divine ranging potions and every now and then the eagle eye prayer. There are multiple spots to kill these guys in the Forthos dungeon, but I enjoyed the spot I was killing them at, because here is an altar located only a few tiles away, which means I can basically use prayer unlimited there. What I'm kind of surprised about though is that I've seen literally nobody kill these creatures from kill 1 to 1000. I have had zero competition. Now maybe this is because most people are playing leagues right now, or the spot is simply not that popular anymore. But anyway, I kept killing the Undead Druids and collected some more Heart Clue Scrolls, Grubby Keys and more interesting loots. And then at kill number 609 I got a clue with one of the few requirements I did not have yet, which is enter the fishing guild. For this you need 68 fishing or 63 with a boost, but I was only level 57. So I simply decided to get this requirement out of the way so Heart Clue Scrolls will never be a problem for me anymore. I trained my fishing up to level 63 and then used an Admiral Pie to gain access to the fishing guild and completed the clue. And when I finally got back, I immediately got 2 Grubby Keys back to back, which you don't see every day, so I gladly take it. After about 737 kills I got 81 range, and I gotta say, it feels kinda good to have this high level range already, because range is just one of those skills that makes killing monsters very relaxing in my opinion, being able to save spot and just has a high DPS in general. So after that I got a couple more Grubby Keys, Heart Clues and then also a hit points level to 78, and other than that, it was all a bit more of the same to be honest. They dropped so many runes, herbs and even loads of cash. So with 1000 kills done, it is now time to do a juicy price check. So here's inventory number 1, full of magic and herblore items. Everything together has a total value of 2.3 mil, and that is a nice start, but of course not everything. The second price check contains various seeds and herblore ingredients with a value of 700k in total. And this is mostly thanks to the Renar and Snapdragon seeds, but also the ingredients are quite expensive, especially the potato cactus drops. So let's now sell everything to know the total value. Alright, so we ended up with 3 mil and 10k, and that is quite accurate to what the price checks looks like. But I am not done yet, because I haven't even mentioned the special pages the Undead Druids have dropped during the episode. There is this mini quest called In Search of Knowledge, which gives me a 10,000 XP lamp after filling 3 books with pages from the dungeon. Now I had at least 20 of each page, so for me it was very easy to claim this reward. I simply collected the books, put the pages in it, and went to Logosia in the Arceus library to claim our reward. Thanks to this XP lamp I got level 62 Slayer, which unlocks Wyrms, so that should be interesting for the future. And the remaining pages are worth 1k each when training them into Logosia as well, so I did that and received 49k. And of course what we shouldn't forget is that I still had 16 Grubby Keys that I wanted to use to open the Grubby chest. Now in order to reach this chest I needed 57 thieving or 56 with a boost. There's only 1+1 boost for thieving I know, if we don't include spices of course, which is the Bandit's Brew. So I decided to train my thieving 1 level to 56 and bought some brews to gain access to the chest. The Grubby chest gives drops ranging from sharks to egg potatoes, blood runes or even crystal keys. Now I did not decide to open the crystal chests as well because I didn't want to turn this video into a keyception. After opening all 16 chests, I got a total value of 650k, which is I think okay. So in total we got about 3.6 mil now, and we're still not done because we got 1 beginner casket from fishing and 12 heart clues from the Undead Druids. So let's see what we got. Alright then, so after all that we got a total value of almost 5.2 mil, and that is more like it. With this money I can easily buy back my whip and Fury Amulet, which means we basically got a blowpipe and 60 prayer for free in this episode. Also, as we can see in the collection log, we've now collected 10 out of 158 hard glue items, which is still not much, but if we keep going, we will continue to increase this number. So stat-wise, we trained quite a lot in this video. We got strength to 73, range to 81, prayer to 60, hit points to 78, thieving to 56, slayer to 62, and fishing to 63. And our combat level has increased from 88 to 90, which is looking good as well. And now we have come to a very important part of this video, the poll. And today is going to be a little bit different than usual. As most of you know, every 5th episode is focused on Slayer. So that means that in episode 5, 10, 15, 20 and so on, I choose a Slayer Master to receive tasks until I have done 1,000 kills. Since this is episode 19, we're gonna do Slayer in the next one. And I have already decided that in the next episode I'm going to do 1,000 Neve Slayer kills, because I need you to vote on something else today, and that is much more important. I have been reading your comments and suggestions lately, and quite a few of you have asked if the goal of this series is to eventually max the account one day. Now I think that is definitely possible, as this series has endless potential, so I don't think I will ever run out of video ideas, especially with all the new content that Jagex is releasing. However, it could take years to achieve this, and some of you have suggested that I could speed up this process. An idea, for example, is to introduce an additional 1000 skilling actions each episode, so some kind of a background 1000, which means that in every episode I will, for example, chop 1000 logs, catch 1000 fish, or smith 1000 items. This way the account will make more overall progress in every episode, while still sticking to the original concept of 1000 only. It is just an extra element. So with all that in mind, I will pull the following question for you all today. Should I introduce 1000 skilling actions, which is an additional task on top of the main episode? Should you vote yes, then from episode 20 and on, I will add the element of doing 1000 skilling actions in addition to the main episode. The skilling actions will not be polled, but instead I will choose one of your suggestions in the comments. And should you vote no, then the episodes will simply continue as they are now. In order for this poll to pass, I want at least 75% of the people saying yes to introduce 1000 skilling actions. If not, then I will simply keep going the way we are doing now. If you want to vote, it is very easy to do. Simply click on the link in the description or in the comments and pick yes or no, whatever you want. And if you do vote, it would be amazing if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support me and of course to see if your vote won. Well, that's about it for this episode, lads. I keep trying to improve my content for you, and hopefully I can keep doing this for a very long time. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.